Today we're talking about 3 secrets to a happy marriage.
Welcome to the Loveable as Fuck Show with Sherry Yazzie. I am a plus-size Indigenous woman in a world that tells me not to love myself. I fucking do. Here's how I do it.
For more on how to defuck yourself, love yourself, and my emotional resiliency magnifying, life-transforming mindset hacks and self-care tools that you need to know now in order to transform your life and be happy as fuck, go to beloveableaf.com. That's beloveableaf.com. So 3 secrets to a happy marriage. If you're wondering, I've actually been married for over 20, let's figure this out. I'm actually coming up on my 20th wedding anniversary this year. Woo! So in case you're wondering, has this bitch just been married for a year and she's giving out marriage advice? So, 3 secrets, right? Here's the thing. We all want to have, I guess I should say it like this. I think most of us, right? We want to have a passionate, fun, exciting marriage, one where we feel accepted and supported. And it's something that is, a beautiful thing in our life. It's something we can rely on. It's something that feels really good. It's something that we are excited about, even after all the years, right? But how do we do that? How do you actually do it? And does your partner have to be being a certain way for it to be a good marriage? And spoiler alert, no. There's going to be deal breakers, I believe, in any relationship, shit that's just not okay and that relationship won't survive. But let's just say your partner's having a hard time and they're really not being as fun or as pleasant as they used to be. I really truly believe that we, on our side, just here with the bit we have power over ourselves, right, can make a difference and impact in our relationship and in how we want to be treated, in what we're available for. So now this is not to put this on your shoulders, your whole relationship is you. No, they absolutely have their own responsibility and culpability inside of your relationship, but you can't do anything over there. You can't make them do things. And even if you can guilt them into doing shit, how does that feel? Does that feel good? No, it doesn't feel good, right? It feels like, oh my gosh, I didn't even get what I wanted out of this. Because what you wanted, right, was them to do it without the guilt. So how do we do this? How do we do this? And this is the first thing I want to really get clear on. If you're in a marriage, sometimes you're going to be unhappy. That's the secret. And you're like, what, Sherry? What? But you're all about, love and having this life that you design. Fuck yeah. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you want to be seriously, who the fuck is this? What's happening? So sometimes it's unhappy. That. When I really truly got that there was no marriage out there that didn't have the fighting sometimes. Now, here, notice what I'm saying here is sometimes, right? Because I'm not advocating for being in a miserable relationship that is miserable all the time. Things would need to change, right? Because that's not working. But at times, there's always going to be ups and downs. That's my experience because you're working with another human being, right? They're going to have their own ups and downs. You have your own ups and downs. So then you're merging this into this beautiful thing called couple. And what does that fucking look like? And sometimes it's hard. So I just want to tell you, sometimes it's not happy. Sometimes it's not woohoo, right? Sometimes you're pissed or sometimes you're sad or sometimes you're lonely. And I just want you to know, you're not alone, right? All of us, anyone in a relationship, a long-term relationship, I feel like we've all had this, but we don't talk about it. No one is like, oh yeah, so this weekend, my partner and I barely spoke. We've kind of been in this kind of almost Cold War for a little while because things aren't going that well. No, nobody fucking talks like that, right? You have to have seriously close friends to even hear more about the relationship, but just get real. If you think about your own relationship, Have you told someone everything that's ever happened? Every like shitty thing maybe your partner said or you've said, every single time you've cried in the closet, every single time that you felt insecure or no, of course not, right? Like we don't do that. So I want you to get that if you're in a struggle right now in your relationship, at a time, every single relationship, no matter how beautiful their Instagram pictures are, no matter how shiny they seem, have had shit hit the fan, okay? For real. And if it's not deal breakers, there's always room to move. There's always room to create something that you're excited about. There's always room to create a relationship that is working for you. Okay? But it's really important that one, we aren't pretending or faking it, right? Think about like orgasms, right? If you fake orgasms, you're not going to get orgasms. You're going to get fake orgasms. Now, fake orgasms aren't any fun and they suck, right? So if you want an actual orgasm, you can't fake it. You actually have to wait and show them and talk to them and communicate with them on how to make that happen, right? And then you get the payoff of, woo! It's the same thing in your relationship. If you're pretending that things are all right and unwilling to declare a breakdown, you can get stuck for years pretending that it's okay and feeling like frustrated, feeling lonely, feeling hurt, suffering. Like, that's not the life you're here to live. You have shit to do. You're a badass bitch. You've got cool shit to do in the world, right? You want your relationship to be supporting you. So how do we do that? We go, I'm declaring a big old fucking breakdown. This shit isn't working right now. Does that mean you're going to get divorced? Does it mean you're never going to figure it out? No, it means literally there's some stuff that's not working. And when you actually declare it's not working, you can look and go, what would work for me? How would I like this to go? How would I like my relationship to be? How would I like to be in a relationship? Like my partner, how do I want them to show up for me? What do I want them to like say and do? Like and here's the thing, right? We aren't puppet masters. We can't control them. But if you get really clear on, I want a man or woman who's like, oh, I love your body. You're hot as fuck, like you can create that. I will tell you just a little like sneak peek there. It's in the feeling that you are hot as fuck. And then they fall in line. That's just been my experience over and over again. Because when I generate it, the people who are willing to reflect it to me, the people who are willing to show up for me in that way, they do. So, know that it's okay if you have breakdowns. That it's not the end of the world. It's not something to be avoided because honestly, the more we avoid them, the more we pile on stuff until sometimes it's this huge volcano, right, to deal with. If we go like, wait, this isn't working for me. Maybe it's a pattern of communication between the two of you. I will give you an example. So I just started. So one of my things is I'm very helpful. I'm very helpful to the people I love in my life. And so if my husband would talk to me about his feelings or a problem or anything like that, I would immediately jump in to try to help. And I started going, you know what? Actually, I'm going to ask him how he's feeling and I'm going to validate his feelings. Like, so how are you feeling about that? Oh, I'm mad. Oh, that makes sense. Totally valid feelings to have about that. I can understand that totally makes sense. And then that was all. And I was just practicing. And then I started, after I would validate, then I would help. Oh, well, here's a suggestion. You could do this. And then I went, what's happening is because of how he's feeling, I'm feeling this pressure, like I need to help him. But he didn't ask for my help, one. And two, like that was not my emotions to carry. So I was like, okay, here, I'm going to take these back and give them to you. Those are your emotions, but I'm going to validate them because I love and care about you. And then I just said, listen, I will, if you want help with those things, let me know. Otherwise, I will validate your feelings. I might clarify if I don't understand, but I will just validate and witness how you're feeling and how it's going. And I'm here if you want help. And it was like taking this huge weight off my shoulders and giving it over there. Same kind of thing with our kids. Like, I've done this with my son where I jumped in to help, and instead of really validating where he was and getting where he was, understanding where he was coming from, and of course letting him know that of course I am here to help, but I am here to also just witness, right? When we feel witnessed, when we feel seen, something else is possible. So actually this moves me into the second secret. So, one is sometimes things are in breakdown and that's okay. 2 is stop carrying the emotional weight of your partner. Like literally your husband, your wife, go ahead and take that back and give it to them. Here's the thing. We think, at least if you're like me, that carrying the weight is useful. Like, oh yeah, I'll put on this backpack so you can go a little lighter. But what if they need that emotional weight to work through whatever it is they're working through? What if by taking that away from them and carrying it ourselves, which then loads us down, right, and puts us further and closer to burnout, what if that actually isn't serving them? What if that's actually keeping them away from actually the breakthroughs that they would have if they were carrying their own emotional weight? Same thing with our kids. It's really hard to not pick up their emotional weight because we want them to feel okay. We want them to be happy. But sometimes they're not. And they need to feel that emotional weight so that they start to understand how to, 1, identify it, 2, feel it, and 3, manage it. So if you catch yourself putting on that emotional backpack weight, just give yourself some grace and go like, oh yeah, that's right. Take it back off and give it to your partner. Because that's their weight to carry. And when you do that, at least for me, it was this really freeing, like, oh my gosh, I just have to be here. Like, I can witness him and I can love him and he's going to work out what he's doing over there. And if he wants my help, he knows where I am. Like, it was the biggest relief because then I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to focus on this. And I built an entire fucking website. That I did. If you guys want to check it out, you can go to loveableaf.com. LOVEABLEAF.com. Full website. This woman right here, I built it. That's what's possible when you put down the weight. You can actually start working on the shit that you want to work on. The stuff you're excited to put out into the world. The things that really, really are important to you personally. Now, do we have things that are, we're committed to together as a couple? Absolutely. But me spending all my time packing on everybody's emotional weight is not serving them, but let's talk about what it's doing to us. Like if we're packing on everybody's emotional weight, and if you know who you are, if you got it, and you're like, fuck yeah, my shoulders are killing me, right? If that's you, I invite you to put it down and give it back to whoever needs it, because when we are carrying all of that, we're still action takers, right? We still get shit done, but we're like slogging through the mud instead of having this enjoyable time, this time where we're excited and enjoying our days. It's like, this is the difference. So I absolutely invite you to set that emotional weight down, because we need to pack our own emotional weight as well, because it helps us transform. So by doing that, we're allowing that space over there and witnessing, validating, being here, and of course, offering to help if it is warranted, if they're asking for it. Okay, and number 3. Oh, this is a big one. So 3 secrets to a happy marriage. 1, sometimes you're going to be unhappy and there's going to be breakdowns. It's okay to declare it. 2, stop carrying the emotional weight. Take that shit off. And 3, feel good in your own skin. Start loving you. So I've talked about this in a previous podcast. Someone was like, I think it's really toxic that we're telling people that they have to love themselves before other people can love them. And that's not what I tell people. But I really do think, well, I know from my own experience, I'll just talk about my own experience. When I wasn't loving myself, when I wasn't feeling good in my skin, I couldn't really accept that my husband loved me. And I definitely couldn't accept that he thought my body was anything but gross. Like, those were the things I was available for. And so guess what was in our relationship? It was not pleasant because he was frustrated because even when he was loving on me, I wasn't accepting it. So it wasn't until I started to love me, I started to feel good in my body. I started to feel like, expansive in that space and grateful for myself and my heart beating and my legs working and my fingers wiggling. So once I did that, it opened up an entire new access when I started to love myself, of allowing other people's love in. Because now I really do. My husband at night, he wraps himself around me and I can feel that love. My son, earlier today, he's like, I need a hug. And I gave him a big hug and I could feel that love. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just this beautiful, beautiful thing when you let it in. But that starts here with us giving it to us. Because then this is the other part of this. Inside of a relationship, inside of a marriage, if you're desperate for something and putting all of the pressure on the other person to give it to you, you're really setting them up for a rough go, and you're setting yourself up for a lot of disappointment as well. So it wasn't until I loved me so much that everybody else's love was just like the cherry on top of the sundae, but I already had the whole fucking sundae. So was I like, cool, I like this cherry and I like this whipped cream, thank you guys. But I already had the ice cream and the toppings, like the fudge and the caramel and all that. I already had all that going on here inside of myself. So all of the things out there that then reflect this, it's just bonuses, and it takes the pressure off. It allows your partner to be human. It allows your kids to have bad days and not have it reflect on, oh my God, I'm not okay as a mom and I'm not okay as a woman and nobody loves me and I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. I'm not laughing because that's like funny, but I'm laughing because I've been there, like for real. And I can tell you for a fact that over here, when we unfuck those beliefs, feels so much better. All right, so those are the 3 secrets of a happy marriage. Sometimes you're unhappy and there's a breakdown. It's okay to declare it. 2, stop carrying the emotional weight. Take that shit off and give it back. 3, feel good in your own skin. Start loving up on you. And if you're like, okay, cool, how the fuck do I do that, Sherry? I have created a new membership. It is called the Uprising. I'm so excited for this, you guys. So founding member price is like super crazy. So like if you're listening to this, hurry over and see if there's still founding member price available. But it's a monthly membership and you get access to my full 4-week self-guided belief work course, so that you actually have the foundation of how to unfuck these beliefs, how to start loving yourself, how to up-level your set points so that you feel good, your energy, your money, your love, and your happiness. And it is specifically for women, moms who are standing up for social justice, so who are Jedis, standing up for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. So if that's you, like literally this is the place. It's got support. You've got all kinds of cool shit once a week, each month, plus this course that you'll have as long as you're in the membership, and quarterly transformation masterclasses. So if that is for you, go check it out. You can go to BeLoveable.com. af.com. So BeLoveAbleaf.com. So BeLoveAbleaf.com. Yeah, the Uprising. I'm super excited for any women that are getting in there, because we're going to hang out. We're going to be talking. We're going to be doing fun stuff online together. But we're also going to be providing support, because you're not alone. You're not alone in the burnout. You're not alone in struggling in your relationships. You're not alone in trying to figure out how to juggle, standing up for social justice, being in a relationship, being a mom, like all of the things, let alone making money, having a career or a business. These are all things. And I created this program to help you go from burnout to breakthrough, right? So it's a whole other level, because burnout for me was solved with connection, unfucking my beliefs, and up-leveling my set points, like literally shifting the level of which I show up. So if that sounds good to you, go to BeLoveableAF.com. And in case nobody has told you yet today, you are lovable as fuck, just the way you are. And I'll see you next time.
To send me your questions or stories, email me at loveableafshow@gmail.com. If you loved the show, please comment, like, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast, please leave a review and subscribe to help me get this show in front of more women who need to know that they are lovable as fuck, just as they are. Check out the show notes or go to beloveableaf.com. That's beloveableaf.com for more of how to unfuck yourself, love yourself, and be happy no matter your size. I said it before and I will say it again. You are lovable as fuck just as you are.